Okay, hello everybody. We're ready to continue on with Coach Smart. We'll ask for some opening comments and then we'll go to your questions. Coach?
Yeah, I'd like to open with the seniors. Obviously, I think today is a day to honor them, and one of the coolest atmospheres I've been a part of in terms of honoring the seniors. I also like to mention the Military Appreciation Day, the halftime show by the Redcoat Band, and all the in-game recognition as well for the Armed Force and all the vets. Just a tremendous honor to be a part of that, and what they do for us in our country. I can't say enough. We wouldn't have a chance today to honor our seniors if it wasn't for the military and the things they sacrifice and make for us. So with that, we'll open it up for questions.
All right, take the first two questions from Dean Legge and then Seth Emerson.
Sorry about that. Kirby, I don't know if you got a chance to see Jordan after the game with the band. Can you give me a background on his relationship with the Redcoats and even just what?
Yeah, I think it's a special honor. He had reached out. He's got a lot of friends outside of football. Jordan is a very worldly young man, and he's got friends across campus, a lot of them in the Redcoat Band. And he had brought up the chance to honor them and go over and thank them for what they've done for our team, the program, the university. And I think they kind of came up with a plan to do that, and they had asked me if it was good, and I thought it was a great idea for the seniors to kind of pay their respects to the Redcoat seniors, because they also have people that won't be back in Sanford Stadium. So I thought it was a tremendous honor, and what better way to do it than to have 99 up there conducting the band.
Kirby, what was behind giving Jordan the goal line play? Is that just kind of a reward for senior day? Was there any kind of effort to bolster a Heisman campaign, or what was it?
It was the score. I mean, we've been in that package the whole time, and Munkin had just come to me and said he'd been begging to get the ball. And he and Jalen put a lot of work in, because they have to go down and go through those plays with the offense, and then we make them make up for the plays they miss with the defense. So it's a commitment for them to go down on offense. And Jalen, he wanted to catch a pass, so we told him we would flex him out and let Jordan get the ball. And we worked on ball security this week with him. And to be honest, I didn't think we'd get a chance. It was almost fate that you got the opportunity, because we weren't going to do it out in the middle of the field, but the opportunity arose, and those offensive coaches wanted to do it, and I thought it was a great idea. I thought he handled it well.
Let's go to Mike Griffith and then Anthony Dasher.
Kirby, you've spoken about this season being a continuum and the desire to get better every single game. With all the other things going on, I don't know if distractions is the right word, but other circumstances, what were some of the things that you were focused on wanting to see out of today's football game?
Just honor the seniors. We had a really short message, and talked about our book and talked about what we're writing and what the next chapter would hold. And I told them I wanted them to name the next chapter, because I didn't want it to be a boring or monotonous chapter. And they said send off. And that was the name of the chapter, to send these guys off right, at least in Sanford Stadium. And I thought they handled that well. They played to a standard, and they gave a lot of guys an opportunity to play. If we let the team hang around and play sloppy, and we don't get to play a lot of players that deserve the right to play. There were probably about 10 or 15 walk-ons that had never played a snap. And some of them have probably taken somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 reps on our practice field. And they got to play a snap because of the effort of the guys that played to our standard.
Hey, Coach, you started to kind of answer the question I had. You mentioned the walk-ons and some of the other, seldom used guys who got opportunity today. As far as some of those fellas go, the fact they get a chance in an actual game type situation, how can it help them moving forward through the rest of the year?
Well, it can give the walk-ons a great experience, a positive momentum. When there's good morale on your team and guys that played, they certainly give better effort in practice. So I know the picture we'll get in practice will be better. And then some of the younger players got a chance to play a lot of snaps. And a lot of times you find out where you are, because, sometimes they hear how good they are, and maybe they realize when they go out and play against Charleston Southern and they don't do as well as they think they should, that maybe they should go back and get to work in the weight room, get to work in the classroom, get to work in nutrition, maybe take their reps a little more serious. And I think we got some guys that maybe learned that today.
Next question, Chip Towers, and then we'll go to Jake Rowe.
And not to belabor the JD touchdown, but obviously that was pretty cool. You kind of touched on this earlier, but I'm assuming there's no guarantee you'll get that situation in a game. And I think I can't remember if it was Kenny McIntosh or Zamir White that got run out right there at the 2. But was there ever any question that you were going to do it right then? And how did you believe it was executed, especially that first one coming up short?
Well, Mike had said on the headphones, if we got, I don't remember what the play before was, but he we thought we might score there. We didn't score, and we said if we got, inside the 2, well, we would do it. And as fate would have it, I think it was on the 3, but he didn't hesitate and he did it. And it was probably a little far out for the first one. And thought he almost scored there. But then Coach Munkin decided to call it again. And I figured they'd know what was coming, but I don't know that it mattered. He was going to get that ball across the goal line any way he could.
Kirby, wanted to ask you, I don't really remember seeing Nolan Smith out there. Wanted to know kind of what his status was for this game. And also Chris Smith, didn't see him out there either and want to see what he may be dealing with.
Yeah, Nolan's elbow from last week, he practiced all week. He was a no contact guy, but he ran around, practiced, gave good effort, and probably could have gone if he had to have gone. But it was bothering him some, and I think he'll be fine for next week. And then Chris had a weird deal on Wednesday or Thursday. He had a bone bruise on his knee. His knee kind of buckled, really a non-contact injury, and just knee buckled, and he was not cleared, not ready to go, but we think he will be fine. So
All right, next question, Mark Weiser, and then we'll go to Tyler Griffith.
I want to ask you about seeing Don Blaylock getting out there today, your thoughts on that. And then George obviously got a chance to do some pregame work running routes. How close might he be?
not sure on George. He's still not completely cleared yet. He's got to hit percentages on his knee, on his testing. He's got jumps, he's got Cybex, he's got 15, 16 different tests he does. And when he hits a certain percentage, we think he'll be able to get cleared, but we don't know when that's going to be. It's a matter of the strength in there and making sure that he's safe. Dom had the flu this week, so we thought we'd get him back, and I think we got him back on Thursday maybe. And he's very smart, very intelligent. He was able to jump right into the game plan. And he was coming back as we kind of lost Kieris at the back of the week. Kieris was battling the flu a little bit. So those two guys kind of shared that spot, and just want to get Dom some confidence, confidence to go out and play, catch the ball, get tackled, hit people, and do some of those things. And hopefully he can spin this into some momentum.
I know you touched on it earlier, how important it was to get the walk-ons out there and kind of reward them for how hard they work. Is there any that you want to call out by name, just that you thought that you saw some great things from today?
Well, great things to me were getting on the field. I mean, I really believe that a young man that works really hard every day for us. We call him Sarge Haggerty. He's been here for a long time. He's a tight end. He's worked really hard, and he got to go out and play. Matt Brown, who is one of our most decorated great players, young man, went and did an internship this summer, and Matt Brown's one of the best walk-ons I've ever been around in terms of he never complains. All he does is compete and give effort. Blake Watson is a young man that's a tackle, and I can't tell you how many snaps he's taken on that scout team, and he got to go out there and play today. Just did a tremendous job. Jalen Kennedy, nickel, Tyler Malakis. There was a lot of guys that got to go out and play, and I was proud of them.
All right, next question, Charles Odom, and then to Palmer Thomas.
You had said that you wanted to see a strong start, and only the players could determine, how many backups were able to get into the game. I think you matched the school record for points and a half, but did you worry at all about how it would go when the first possession ends in the turnover?
No, I wasn't concerned. I mean, that's part of football, right? You have the ups and downs. You respond to it. Our guys have really matured. They understand that there's 4 quarters to a game. We're not going to have any game decided in the first opening drive. Would certainly like to start better and start faster, but a ball got tipped and guy made a good play.
Kirby, you said this is one of the most special senior day celebrations that you've seen. What is it about the senior class that makes them so special that fans want to celebrate in this way?
Well, I just think they've been through so much. I mean, they had a COVID experience, and a lot of them chose to come back because of that. So there were guys that didn't get their senior day that came back to get it. I think what they've done in terms of leadership and affecting other players on our team, their overall record over 4 years, some of them 5 years. I mean, everybody's in kind of a different spot out of that group. And I'll venture to say there'll be a lot of those guys that might be out there next year. But you know what? They'll be really good leaders by then. And I hope we get some of them back, and they can help impact our season next year.
All right, let's go to Davis Baker and then to Emily Gagnon.
Coach, how valuable is it for you to get some rest for your starters this late in the season, even if it is just a quarter or two?
Yeah, I think it's important, but I think these guys are built to play the game of football. So what 1 quarter, 2 quarters does for them, I really don't know. I think the time to get the rest is during the week of practice, and we try to have high intensity, lower volume, and really get after it when we get after it. And we did some good on good periods this past week to really keep that competitive level. But I mean, it's hard at the end of the day sometimes to get something out of that game. Once you get that lead, you're trying to gain confidence in your offense, defense, special teams, and get some confidence in some backups. But the starters, there's not a lot they can do once we extend the lead.
Hey, Coach, I was wondering, of the championship teams that you have coached throughout the years, is there something that all those teams have had in common? And do you find that this team has that?
Hard to do comparisons. It's just really hard because I think everyone's so different. If there's one DNA trait of all those teams, it's usually leadership and composure. And yeah, I feel like this team has that, but I'll be honest with you. The last 2 or 3 teams we've had, I feel like have had really good composure and really good leadership. I don't know what makes this team set itself apart from any championship team that I've had, or makes it more similar. I take each one in its own entity, and every team has its own personality, and you start fresh every year. What I love about this team is that since the start, they have responded to every challenge. There's never been like a, man, I don't know if we really want to practice today, Coach. They've demanded that players be where they're supposed to be, work out when they're supposed to work out, and practice the way they're supposed to practice. And I thought this week was great because we got to spend a little intentional time with the leaders, and really say, hey, we're getting ready to go into this tough circuit. Let's get ready. Let's thank you for what you've done thus far in terms of leading, but now's when it matters the most.
All right, next question to Connor Riley and then to Ryan Curley.
Hey, Kirby, it might be hard to quantify this, but what has Jordan Davis's personality and the way he interacts with people meant to this program?
Yeah, you said it, hard to quantify, because it's just it's impactful. It's like he has this personality that people embrace. I mean, if you don't know him, you've missed out. He's I wouldn't say best kept secret now, but he probably was for 3 years. And it's just funny. I mean, he's got great sense of humor, great work ethic, great leadership. He cares. He stands up and tells the team how much he cares about them, and he'll do anything for them. So I'm really proud of the way he's handled this season, because a lot of guys, when they come back, they don't necessarily handle things the right way, and he's done that.
Kirby, you talked earlier this week about how important it was to honor the seniors. How pleased were you with the celebration today and everything post-game and pregame?
It's great. It was great. I thought the fans did an awesome job being here, and it's hard when you go down that road shaking those hands and taking those pictures. First of all, there were so many of them, and it's tough. Imagine that being, a Tech game at home, which, it probably will be next year, I guess. And it's a lot harder, depending on who you're playing, to be in that mental position. It was a much better fit this year with this game.
All right, Mark Bradley, you have a question?
Yes, I do, actually. Coach, after you beat Clemson, it became fashionable to say Georgia's going to win. Georgia's going to be favored to win the rest of its games. How impressed have you been that your team has been able to block out talk like that and just and just tend to business every week after week after week?
It gives a lot of credit to those guys. I mean, if I said the same message every week over and over, it would fall on deaf ears. I mean, they would say, well, I've heard that before. Well, this game's going to be tough. Well, he said that game was going to be tough, and they've responded really well. But I mean, outside of this week, Monday and Tuesday, we probably have had some of our best practices every week, Monday and Tuesday. You know, my concern is it towards the end of the year and we're going to lose that edge on Monday and Tuesday, or was that because we were playing Charleston Southern? And I told them on Wednesday, I said, guys, we can't practice like this and continue to get better. And when you get towards the end of the year, it's the end of the year that you get remembered for, you know, March Madness, what team's playing best in March? When are you at your hottest? And we're trying to get better. We wanted to have rhythm today. You know, it was important that we went out and didn't just play it close to the vest. We went out there and went after it and played an aggressive game plan. So these guys have been excellent responding to adversity. And, you know, we've been on some tough road games. We've had some tough games here and there. I'm proud of the way they've handled everything, but there's still a road ahead.
We got time for one more question, and then we'll let anybody jump in that would like to. Go ahead. Anyone?
That's a good lead-in, Coach, to the Georgia Tech week. And if you had any concerns about Charleston Southern, does the first state rivalry game since 2019, do you think that's going to take care of any sluggish Monday or Tuesday practice?
I think our leaders will do that. I mean, I really do. I think they'll respond. They talked after the game and, you know, made mention that they wanted everybody locked in, and it takes a lot of pressure off me when they're saying it, you know, and when they speak, people listen and they mean it. And I think they'll handle that right. And, you know, we got a lot of our kids from the metro area, from Atlanta area, and they got an opportunity to go play in front of, you know, their home, their families, all those folks. I mean, it's one of the hotbeds for us recruiting. So I know they'll be fired up for that opportunity.